Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The Honorable to the Committee of ICMSCE 20 and 21. The Honorable to the all of presenters and reviewers and audiences of this conference. Let me to introduce myself. My name is Agung Setiawan. I'm a student from Master of Architecture, Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia. And for this occasion, I'd like to present my paper with the title, Modeling the Potential of Demand for Design of Passenger Terminal, Cikembar Sukabumi Airport, West Java, Indonesia Capacity. For introduction, the progress of air transportation, one of which is marked by the increasing development of airport development as a vital infrastructure that serves the movement of passengers with airlines as transportation service providers via aircraft. Indonesia is an archipelagic country as highly dependent on air transportation as indicated by the increasing demand for the number of passengers over the last decade, namely 15% for domestic flights and 6% for international flights. This indicates that the airport is one of the transportation facilities that are quite urgent to develop so that it can overcome problems such as the excess capacity of the existing airport, flight delays, passenger discomfort, and increased security risks. The guarantee of providing representative airport facilities is one of the infrastructure development issues for the central government and regional government as an effort to increase the pace of economy and equitable development. West Java province, as the closest province of the capital city of DKI Jakarta, it has established a strategy for developing airport facilities as stated in the Regional Medium-Term Development Plan or RPJMD of West Java Province. West Java Provincial Government has established the transportation sector as one of the priority development programs outlining development policies such as runway extension and development of West Java Kertajati International Airport in Majalengka Regency, development of Cikembar Airport in Sukabumi Regency, optimization of Nusawiro Airport in Pangandaran Regency, regional feeder port in Kabupaten Sukabumi, and Pangandaran Regency and Cirebon City. Cikembar Airport became one of the airports that have been planned as a strategic project in realizing equitable development in the Sukabumi and surrounding areas. Based on the decree of the Minister of Transportation of the Republic of Indonesia, number KM 75 of 2019, Cikembar Airport is classified as a tertiary gathering airport hub. Referring to the definition of the regulation of the Minister of Transportation of the Republic of Indonesia, number PM C9 of 2019, concerning the National Airport Order, airports with a tertiary service scale are one of the supporting infrastructure for the services of the National Activity Center or PKN, and the nearest regional activity center or PKW, serving passengers with the highest number of passengers. Low 500,000 and less than 1 million people per year. For theory review, for air transport and demand components demand, the analysis and projection stage of the potential demand for the number of passengers is one of the important stages in the airport design process because it will greatly affect the space program in determining airport facilities, especially in the terminal building. Miscalculation at this stage will have an impact on services and infrastructure that are not economical, a low work system that to a mismatch of service loads with the facilities provided. From a geographical point of view, the catchment area of an airport can be defined as an area that has the potential to serve potential user and passenger of the airport. And for transport and tourism links, Nani Tambunan explained the benefit of tourism for the development of the transportation sector, including A, the use of infrastructure and use vehicles to be more optimal. B, economic advantages of regional tourists, and C, tourist views on public transportation can be improved. Further explain that the freight can be added during peak hours and holidays, so that the transportation sector brings economic benefits for tourism and entertainment in the surrounding area. For the methodology, in determining the potential demand per passenger at the Cikembar Airport Terminal, primary and secondary data are collected in the form of documents from open authorities as well as statistical data relevant to forecasting potential demand. The data is then processed into time series data using the exponential smoothing forecasting method, which is a forecasting method by drawing a smooth curve from the average data development that is used reference in estimating values in the coming years. The analysis process in the study is illustrated in the flow chart. Figure 1, and this is the picture of the research flow chart. And then for forecasting the number of passengers based on potential demand. Neutral for airport terminal facilities, the amount needed will depend on the forecast results to find the relationship between demand and the capacity requirement is the passenger terminal facilities. To analyze and project the forecast of the number of passengers based on demand, the correlation method and the multilinear regression method were used between the number of passengers as the dependent variable. Meanwhile, statistical variables such as population development in the Sukabumi and West Java regions, the gross regional domestic product or GRDP of Sukabumi. The regression equation model for passenger projection is in the following formula. So for determining passenger terminal area requirements, for domestic passenger terminal area standard are influenced by the number of passengers during the annual busy time as outlined in the regulation of the Director General of Civil Aviation number SKEP 77525 concerning the technical requirement for the operation of airport engineering facilities. And this table from Minister of Transportation Regulation number KM 20 of 2005. So for the result and discussion, Cikembar Airport as a new airport proclaimed in the RPJMD of West Java Province is projected to have annual number for a passenger. The variables involved in the regression analysis are recorded statistical data of Sukabumi Regency, which include number and population growth, number of forage and domestic tourists visiting, and gross regional domestic product or GRDP. For analysis of potential passenger demand, the population projection use a variable in the context of the Cikembar Airport passenger projection is the population growth of Sukabumi Regency in 2011 till 2020, which reflects the regional activity center service where the Cikembar Airport is explained as shown in the table. This table. So for analysis of potential passenger demand, Sukabumi gross domestic product data describe the economic capacity of a region. In the study, the GRDP growth data of Sukabumi is used, presented in the table. Analysis of potential passenger demand, number of foreign and domestic tourists visit to Sukabumi Regency. The number of airport passengers will depend on the movement of tourist visits, both foreign and domestic. Data on the growth of foreign and domestic tourists is based on data from BPS Sukabumi Regency as presented in Table 4. For analysis, the number of hotels in Sukabumi Regency, this is depend on the movement of tourist visit, both foreign and domestic. Data on the growth on foreign and domestic tourists is based on data from BPS Sukabumi. Presented in the table. So for regression analysis result, regression analysis is done with the help of Minitab software with the number of passengers representing potential demand as Y, as dependent variable and x controlling variable with x1 as population of Sukabumi Regency, x2 for GRDP or Sukabumi Regency, x3 for tourist visits, both of foreign and domestic, and x4 for number of hotels in Sukabumi Regency. This is analysis data variation using Minitab software. And this is a regression equation. With the help of Minitab software analysis, a multiple linear regression equation was obtained with the results of the equation and graphs of a normal probability plot versus fits histogram and versus order. And this is a result for a passenger projection and based on the regression equation model above for the passenger projection and passenger terminal capacity. The passenger projection and passenger terminal capacity Cikembar Airport are shown in the following table. So for conclusion, based on the calculation for forecasting the potential demand for the number of passengers, it can be estimated that the demand for Cikembar Airport passenger for the next 30 years starting from the issuance of the master plan in 2019, namely in 2048, counted as many 1,322,425 passengers with the required terminal area of 20,000 meters square. Meanwhile, in the context of the airport development plan in 2023, according to the West Java Province Medium Term Development Plan or LPJMD for 2018 until 2023, the number of passengers is estimated to be as many as 756,029 passengers, with terminal operational are that must be provided as wide as 11,643 area square meter, or still covers an area of 20,000 meters square with the assumption of a congestion area of 30%. So for acknowledgements, the researcher would like to thank the leader of the Faculty of Technology and Vocational Education, Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia, who have assisted in collaborative research between lecturers and students for 2021 fiscal year, and do not forget all parties involved in collecting research data. So thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.